Ladies and gentlemen, here we go again. We got my man here, and Terry. And Terry has got his own course going. And I believe a lot of you probably watched our previous videos and you know where to get Arns courses. And on this episode, guys, we're going to talk about turning that passion into profit. And that passion could be you want to get into the recruitment business. And here, he's done this for years, guys. He's good at what he does. He's a professional. And he's going to take us on a journey on how to turn that into profit. If you like, for instance, if you're a project manager, if you're a planner, if you whatever you do, and you're so much into it, and you want to turn that into profit, the best way to do that, probably start a recruitment business with that, but Anne here is going to take us on a journey on how to do that, So Anne, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, and thank you for the introduction. I'm looking forward to it. I'm energized and ready to go. So let's do this.
Let's do this, Anne. Let's do this, Anne.
Right. Okay. So yeah, thanks for the introduction. So just to give you a bit of a backstory, because people may be thinking, what and why am I talking about recruitment? The reason that the what and why is my career has been as a recruiter. So I've approximately got about 15 years, that's 15, working as a recruiter, where I started as a junior consultant, moved to a consultant, and climbed the ranks to senior, to principal, to team lead, then to manager, then to head of practice, which is like a associate director level, where you're controlling your profit and loss, your P&L, hiring and firing staff, mentoring and coaching. And my geographical area was international. So condensing all of that, my level went to an international headhunter for a certain specialist area. So I think it's maybe good that I do have a bit of background experience, the good, the bad, the ugly, or as I used to call it, the roller coaster of pain, being recruitment. But yeah, I'm happy to kick off, and you ask the questions. I'm an open book.
Yeah, and what a remarkable track of knowledge, man, track of experience, man, that you got there. But one thing we want to know, before we kick this off is, what was the interest? Like, you starting your own recruitment company, what actually drove you into that? Was there any interest in that?
And what drove me to start my own recruitment company?
Yes.
I was sick of making money for the bigger corporations. Simple. It was, and there was another thing as well. It was logic. It was natural evolution or evolution, because I've been doing it for such a long time. For that point, I think it's about 13 years. So for the last 2 years, I've been running my own recruitment company. So it was just evolution for me. I've done it for so long. I was making companies money, and I wanted to keep it more in my bank, in my company account, rather than growing another business. So I think this podcast show that you brought me on now will be great for me to, and for both of us to discuss this, and how someone can make, a bit more cash for themselves and the business, and for the family.
Okay, man, that's great, man. That's great. So to kick things off here, and for someone that's got a passion, like, let's say you're project planner or you're a project manager, you're good at what you do, and you've been in the industry for, let's say, for instance, 10 years, and you're looking at things and said, I'm passionate about what I do, and I want to take this further by bringing other guys into the industry in the way of recruitment, So from a novice point of view, and what is the first thing you do?
The first thing I would do is about your mindset. So I think a lot of people maybe listening to your podcast now will be saying, "Oh, recruitment is sales. I'm not a salesperson. I'm not salesy." That's BS. Belief system, by the way.
It's not the other one.
No, that's just a belief system. Gone are the days of the recruitment where you're screaming down the phone and you're forcing the client or try to tell a client or convince the client that you must buy this, you must get this candidate is the best thing since sliced bread. So the first thing is mindset. You just need to understand that the process that you are speaking to a human being, you're speaking to a person. So that's all you are doing. You're just speaking to someone. You don't have to sell in. You have a two-way conversation. So that's the first thing. The second thing is going back to your original question is what you need to remember is if you've been in a position or profession, like you said, a project planner, project manager for 5, 10 years or whatever that may be, you will have a huge network, a wealth of people doing the same thing as yourself, or you should do. If you're not, then you need to start doing it now. So you'll have a lot of connections, like-minded people in the same area as you. So what you need to think about now is how you can give back. So if you've been doing this for such a long time and you've actually mastered that, what is the next thing for you? And a nice segue could be setting up your own recruitment practice. Now, I'm not going to go into the details for that. We may be able to do that on the next show.
Yes, on the next show.
But what I would say is you've got a network of people. So what you can basically do is think about how you're going to set up your recruitment company, which again we can speak about later. But you've got so many contacts and people there. Once you've set up your practice, you basically go back to all the companies that you've worked for in the past, or you go back to companies you would love to work for, because everyone's got a wish list. So if you're working for a business or you're a project planner, project manager, even if going into a dental practice, to doctors, to lawyers, or any profession like this, you've got a network and you've got your wish list of companies you would have loved to work for. So then all you do is basically down in one side, you write down all the companies you would love to have worked for. So that could maybe 20, 30. I would say really you should be getting at least 30 to 40 different companies. Write it down. And then the other side, you're writing down, okay, how many people do you know in your area of skill set? So you've got two lists. You've got the list of companies and you've got the candidate list, the people that you know in your network. And then all you need to do is look at the client list and see which companies are recruiting. Okay, out of these first, let's say 40, let's keep it clean, a number. Out of these 40 companies that are recruiting, 5 are recruiting. Out of these, the list of candidates that I know, say you know, or friends, say you know 30 people, and these 5 companies are hiring. Out of these 30 people that you know, only maybe 2 of them may be looking for a job. So all you do is speak to those your friends and say, I know these companies are recruiting here. If you want to give me your CV, I should be able to get you a job. You go and speak to that company. You send those 2 candidates. Hopefully, I'm not speaking too fast. You send those 2 candidates to those 5 companies. So that's obviously increasing your chances. So you send the 2 there, 2 there, 2 there, 2 there, 2 there, those candidates. And then you basically say you've sent them to all those 5 companies, maybe only the 3 companies want to interview him. So you're giving them a better statistical chance of obviously getting that job. And you're increasing your negotiation powers. Again, we can speak about this on another side, but all you're doing is having a conversation. Obviously, throwing in a disclaimer there, you have to have your recruitment practice set up. You have to be registered. But once you've got that person and you send them over to that business, you would be sending over the CV with with your client terms of business for a fee. So let's say, for example, keeping numbers clean, that the £50,000 salaries, and then your fee is 20%. So for those 2 people that you know, you're going to get £10,000 per candidate. So just from doing a slight shift of thinking, right, I'm a professional, I'm a master in what I do, but now I'm going to create my own little recruitment practice. You've now generated £20,000 of new money into another side business or another business. So I'm making it sound very simple, and it is once you understand the basics to it.
Yeah. But on nothing again, I picked up from what you're saying is that I think you got to have people skills as well, because you got to be able to communicate with people and have that positive relationship as well with people as well, right?
Yeah, exactly. And to be fair as well, what I always say is you don't need to be a salesperson. You don't need too much people skills to be fair as well. All you need is, I would say, just communication skills. As long as you can communicate well, hello, I've got a role for you. This is a role. Are you interested in this role? No, I'm not. Okay. Do you know anyone that would be interested? Yes, I know Aunt Terry. He's doing this. And you go and speak to that client and go, hello, Mr. Mrs. Client. I've got someone who can fill this vacancy for you. They've got this, and this skills. So you just basically repeat a few skills on the CV and send it over to the person. And listen, and what I've said from my experience as well is the candidate doesn't even have to like you as a recruiter, because being a recruiter can be a bit of a thankless job anyway. They don't even have to like you, that the candidate looking for the job, because they're not bothered about you. They're just bothered about getting the job. So as long as you can present to them a right opportunity, their focus is on the role, the opportunities, the environment. It's not focused on you. So that's what I mean about, you don't need to be great people skills. You don't need to be a salesperson. You just need to be someone who can have a conversation. As long as you can have a conversation, then that's fine. Again, it's as simple as that.
And thanks, and great for this, man. So guys, man, for this episode, sorry to say, but this is how far we're gonna go, because these things about to heat up, but we're gonna hit that up on the next episode. So Anne can tell us more about how to get the legalities, paperwork, because like you rightly said, Anne, before you start going into this, you need to get your paperwork, upfront, your insurance and all that, and I know all that's going to come in, but we'll talk about all that, on the next episode, So, Anne, thanks again for another blast, another great talk, recruitment, turning that passion into profit, and for those, who want to get to know you and also go after your course, where is the best place for them to get that?
Simple. In fact, my name's a simple name. It's Arns Terry, ARNTERRY. So if you want to find me, jump onto YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, I hang out on all those platforms. If you can't be bothered finding me on the social media, you just want to check out my course, just go into Freetownmindset, freetownmindset.com. And obviously, I'll walk you through a simple course on there. And in fact, doing this show with you now, it's actually giving me a bit of an inspiration. I might for 2021 create a new course, which is mentoring people how to get from zero to £120,000 in a year as a recruiter.
That's great, man. That's great. You see, things pop up, man. They pop up. Great, man. That was a nice one.